We decided as a board, I was given the direction to move the school day, the first day of school rather, from August 17th and postpone that until September the 8th. At which time our first day of school would be September the 8th. We would be implementing the TEA transition plan that allows for 4 weeks of at-home online learning. And we shared that with our internal and external community that we would be working toward that end. It's important to recognize that these are extremely difficult times for educators. We are looking at a changing, ever-changing landscape of public health conditions. We also, in recent days, have had to deal with changing guidance from state and local agencies, and our job as educators is to focus on teaching and learning for all of our over 80,000 students here in Fort Worth. But first, the board's position was that health and safety was the number one priority for our students, for our faculty, and our staff, and that's why we made the decision.
Was health and safety not a consideration when you decided August 17th and to have an integration of both on-campus and remote learning, and what are the distinctions between then and now?
Well, we started our survey with our parents on the 1st of July. As you know, the health conditions are changing rapidly. As we got closer to the first day of school, and you know that last week our local county health department indicated that in-person instruction should be delayed. Based on those data, the board came together and again had a very, very involved conversation that resulted in the decision to postpone the first day of school from August 17 until September the 8th.
Can you talk a little bit about what will happen in those 4 weeks between August 17th, when it was originally planned, through September 8th? And also, how has the board reached out to teachers? I heard a lot of teachers, with a lot of concerns about their own safety and their own families. So how has that communication been between teachers and the board?
Well, since the board meeting wrapped up earlier this afternoon, we have communicated both with our faculty and our staff as well as our external community, and the feedback that we've gotten from our teachers has been very, very positive. They experienced a great deal of uncertainty and fear in some cases around becoming infected with the coronavirus, and they were very, very appreciative that the start date was postponed. Also, the training that will take place for our new teachers and for our teachers who need support with virtual learning and online learning, that will continue, and we will ramp up so that we can be in the best possible position for our first day of school. Extra training, and also our principals are on the job as well. So our principals will have really over a month to get the schools ready and make sure that not only the physical plant but also their faculty and staff are prepared for the first day of school.
Did you say that teachers will be in the building to actually do the teaching, though, or are they doing that?
The plan originally was that we would have that take place. What we've decided is our first year teachers and our brand new teachers that they would be reporting to the school building, and that their instruction would originate from the classroom. For our experienced teachers, we are allowing them to continue with at-home learning, although we're going to be monitoring that very carefully, providing them support, providing them guidance, and also making sure that we have a robust and strong educational program. This fall, all of our instruction will be taking place with Fort Worth ISD curriculum, Fort Worth ISD certified teachers, and we wanted to make sure that they receive the support that they need. Last spring, the whole world, including Fort Worth ISD and other major districts across our state, had to pivot within a week or two, and now we've had a sufficient time to plan, and we expect a much more robust instructional program virtually for these first 4 years in online learning 2.0.
What is the expectation of Scrivener after these first 4 weeks? There are, as you know, some families who have asked for and frankly need accessibility to your campuses. So if this year you've got that 4-week leeway, but what's the expectation?
Sure. Well, we're working with our community partners to provide as much support as possible with regard to child care and supervision of students. We will be opening our campuses to students with special needs. There are students who have severe needs that can only be fulfilled with in-person instruction. So in small groups or individually, with appropriate social distancing, with masks, with all of the necessary precautions that are required, we will be serving our students, much like the other large districts who are also accessing the transition period that's provided through the Texas Education Agency. We will have those students on campus and be supporting them.
And then after that period, that 4-week period, was it your original plan that indeed you would have the option for families for both remote learning and face-to-face?
That's our hope. We want to get students back in our classrooms in brick and mortar buildings for person-to-person instruction as fast as possible, as long as it's safe. We want to open our schools, but we want to be able to keep them open. Our goal has always been to have in-person instruction, which is why the original plan was to start with a choice option on August the 17th. Public health conditions change, guidelines change, and we had to react to that as well.
Can you speak to the just changing guidelines and guidance and what it's been like for that, dealing with all of that?
Well, as educators, our number one goal is to focus on what the best interest of students. As those guidelines change, we must react. I'm an educator. We will follow the guidelines that are given to us by the Department of Education, by the Attorney General, by any of the relevant entities, and if they change, we will change our approach as well. This is a fluid situation, has been changing as was stated earlier throughout the pandemic from March on to today, and it's our hope that these plans will be implemented as we're describing now. However, if conditions change, so will our implementation.
What do you say to parents and teachers that are been kind of exasperated with all the changes and information and lack of it and all of that?
I share their frustration. We are all frustrated. This is an unprecedented circumstance. Not only are we dealing with changing public health conditions, we're dealing with changing guidance from state and local agencies, and we will respond as such. Communication, it really is the only way to navigate through this, and we'll continue to communicate. In fact, we held 2 virtual town halls this week. One a few weeks prior. We heard over 70 individuals today in the board meeting that lasted over 5 hours. It was an opportunity for the board to really understand the concerns and the desires of our community, and they voted as such.
How many Wi-Fi hotspots and computers do you guys need to hand out for those that don't have access to?
Last fall, we distributed 24,000 devices. The board last week approved $2.4 million investment for an additional 10,000 devices. Those devices are arriving this week and will be distributed next week. As students enroll, part of the enrollment process, the registration process, is to indicate to us what their technology needs are so that we can adapt. We are very fortunate here in Fort Worth with a generous philanthropic community. Our business community has stepped up, and we're going to continue to serve our students and provide them with the technological support that they need. With mobility, particularly in urban communities, Fort Worth, like many large cities in Texas, serves predominantly a low-income student population, economically disadvantaged. 85% of our students are economically disadvantaged, and we want to support them not only with their technological needs, but with their food insecurity needs. We've served over 950,000 meals here in Fort Worth, and will continue to do so through the summer and into next semester as well.
Go ahead. Oh, one question in English real quick. Is there any plan to make up for the 3-week delay? Adding minutes to the day, or could we talk about changing the calendar?
Right. Today's board vote changed the calendar and moved it back 3 weeks. So the first day will not be on August the 17th. It'll be on September the 8th, and as such, the end of the school year will go to the middle of June as well.
But the days, the minutes in the day will remain.
They will remain the same at this point unless the board takes further action.
Dr. Schwartz, just make sure I heard you correctly. After the 4 weeks, the hope is
virtual or in person?
Or hopefully, if conditions improve dramatically, then our goal is that everyone is in person. But between now and the 4-week transition period, we're going to look at our health and health data. In fact, the district is looking to bring someone on as a health director to provide us direction and guidance in that area. We want to make sure that we're bringing students back in a safe environment. Sí. Lo que pasó hoy. Esta mañana la mesa directiva votó de cambiar el primer día de escuela desde 17 de agosto hasta el 8 de septiembre. El primer día de instrucción va a empezar el 8 de septiembre, pero va a estar virtual. En vez de los niños yendo a clase en persona, van a aprender desde su casa o otra parte por computadora. Hemos tomado varias veces conversaciones con la población latina y hemos aprendido que la mayoría de nuestras familias quieren aprender desde casa. Sí, hay una diferencia de opinión, pero en general las personas con que hemos hablado en Fort Worth dicen que quieren aprender en casa por el momento hasta que se controla el coronavirus. Sí. La Agencia de Educación de Texas nos deja 4 semanas de instrucción virtual. Desde el 8 de septiembre, eso nos llega al 5 de octubre. Entre esa fecha y el 5 de octubre vamos a revisar las condiciones de salud pública y decidir si los niños pueden empezar en persona o si tenemos que continuar virtual. Pero la decisión por los próximos 4 semanas requiere otro voto de la mesa directiva. No, cuando se registren hay también una opción de avisarnos si necesitan computadora o necesitan un hotspot, las necesidades tecnologías. Y queremos saber lo que necesitan porque hemos invertido $2.4 millones la semana pasada para 10,000 hotspots. En la primavera distribuimos 24,000 computadoras y hotspots y queremos saber de nuestros alumnos qué es lo que necesitan para que puedan estar conectados en la instrucción. Sí. No, y tenemos maestros bilingües que también van a estar enseñando en español virtualmente.
¿Y ustedes creen que ya con los dispositivos que acaban de comprar con eso van a tener...
No, vamos a tener que continuar invirtiendo en nuestra comunidad, invirtiendo en la tecnología, porque también hay mucha movilidad. Los niños cambian de un distrito a otro distrito y queremos que cada niño que viene a Fort Worth también recibe sus computadoras y sus hotspots si lo necesitan.
Y yo sé que para navegar sitios de internet,
Sí.
las tareas y todo eso va a ser un poco complicado para los padres de familia. ¿Ustedes qué les van a ofrecer?
Pues entrenamiento. También los 3 semanas de 17 de agosto hasta el 5 de septiembre vamos a tener trainings para los padres, no solamente en cuanto a las computadoras, pero también de información que van a necesitar para ayudar a sus niños.
¿Y eso puede ser en persona o
Virtualmente, sí.
Superintendent, is there a process that Fort Worth ISD has for teachers to opt out of in-person teaching? Dallas ISD is doing that. They're allowing teachers to write letters to their principals saying, hey, we would prefer to do virtual as long as we can. Does Fort Worth ISD have a process for that?
Yeah, there is district policies and state and local laws that will provide us guidance. The decision today, however, was to begin instruction 100% virtually for the first 4 weeks. We're going to monitor that and determine if health conditions improve. If they do, our number one goal is to keep students healthy and safe, as well as faculty and staff healthy and safe. We want in-person instruction, and when that takes place, obviously, we'll be accommodating those teachers who are in need.
Can you walk through the process pretty much diplomatically when it comes down to you and the board? So 4 weeks virtually, full-blown online. funding.
Mhm.
If you get to the end of the 4 weeks, whose decision is that to go to another
Sure.
form, or is it yours, or is it the board's decision?
The board will have to take a vote after the first 4 weeks if health conditions don't improve and they need to continue.
So you got to go up to 8 cents.
If health conditions don't improve, the board would have the option to vote for an additional 4 weeks.
That's theirs, not yours. You don't make that decision, the board has.
That would be the decision of the board as per TEA's transition guidelines.
Did the DEA say that they have to be taken in succession, or can you save the other 4 weeks for later? If you come back and things don't work out, can you take another 4 weeks? Or
The conversations that I've been part of with the commissioner allow for a transition period. The first 4 weeks was determined today. If after those 4 weeks health conditions don't improve, the board would then have to take a vote to continue it, and they would be contiguous 4 weeks, so 8 weeks potentially at the beginning of the year. However, situations change. We've seen that this week, and we want to monitor and adjust if things do change.
Una preguntita, algo que mencionó usted de los padres que van a tener entrenamiento. Hay unos padres que tienen 2, 3 trabajos y no tienen tiempo para estas
Ujú.
virtual learning
Ujú.
o no tienen la educación para
Ujú.
entender lo que están
Ujú.
haciendo. ¿Cómo van a apoyar a estos
Sí.
padres? Porque hay muchos
Sí.
padres que no pueden, no tienen tiempo.
Pues acabamos de crear un puesto de involucramiento de los padres, una posición de parent partnership, de una persona que antes era encargada de los parent universities, Marta Plata, y está encargada de comunicarse con los padres y darles toda la información necesaria. Y puede ser durante las tardes, la noche, los fines de semana, tenemos que realmente conectar con las familias. Si hay alguien en la familia que necesita esa ayuda, vamos a hacer todo posible para conectar con la familia.
Tienen también planes a lo mejor ir a los vecindarios donde están.
Sí, exacto, los centros de comunidad, en las iglesias, en cualquier sitio donde podemos conectarnos con la familia, ese es el enfoque.
More folks, and then we start moving on.
Pregunta, ¿qué pasa? Porque la última vez que me dijeron que era casi medio dividido, casi
Ujú.
50% quiere
Ujú.
presencial y el otro no quiere virtual.
Ujú.
¿Qué van a hacer también para los padres que lo mismo, padres que trabajan varios y quieren enviar a los niños?
Sí, pues por los primeros cuatro semanas no van a poder mandar a sus niños si no califican como una persona, un estudiante que está en un programa de educación especial. Lo que queremos hacer es que toda la comunidad lo tome en serio, la necesidad de controlar el coronavirus con cubrebocas, distanciamiento social, lavando las manos para controlar el virus para que regresamos a un tipo de normalidad.
Dr. Springer, if you could repeat the young lady's answer in English.
You're talking about how if you're going to help parents that have.
Yeah, so it is a challenge. Fort Worth ISD serves a student population, 85% of whom live at or below the federal poverty line. Our parents work. Our parents are, in many cases, frontline workers and essential workers. We've created the division of parent partnerships. One of our administrators who led the parent university is a great talent with regard to communication with parents, and she's going to be leading that charge. We want to make sure we are meeting the parents where they are, providing them as much support. We have family liaisons and outreach personnel. We understand this is going to be a major undertaking. These are unprecedented times, and we're going to have to take unprecedented action.
Okay, thanks, everybody. He's got to move on.
Thank you. Thank you.